Hi, I'm Karina from Smart But Nutrition, and today I want to share my 6 top tips for healthy children during this COVID-19 homeschooling period. So I myself have been facing challenges at home with the children. I have a almost 6-year-old and 8-year-old, and they've been wanting to snack every 10 or 15 minutes at home every day, and I'm finding this to be quite a challenge. Because normally they just have their, snack times and lunch times and we're done. But at the moment it feels like it's becoming a bit of a rolling buffet all day long. So I recently wrote a blog post on this and I just wanted to share it with you live because I think it will hopefully help. Look, we're all in this together, so anything I can do to help, I will. So number one, in terms of, strategies that we can try to help nourish them, keep their concentration levels up. And number one is low GI breakfast. So we need to be choosing breakfast options that are going to enable them to have good energy levels, good concentration, and feel sustained for a number of hours. We want low GI carbohydrate options, not high GI carbohydrate options, because low GI means that the sugar releases into their bloodstream more slowly, so they have a more gradual increase in blood sugar levels and it's sustained for a lot longer before it drops down again. Whereas with high GI breakfast cereal options, they have a very fast release of sugar into the bloodstream and then it drops down again quite quickly. And then they're hungry again after 20 minutes. And this is going to do your head in, especially if you're trying to juggle work and everything else that's going on in our crazy busy days. So low GI breakfast cereal options, or such as something like sultana bran or porridge or muesli. And then we've got other options such as grainy bread with peanut butter or avocado. It might be eggs, it could be baked beans, it could be a smoothie that you've made up, or it could be some fruit and yogurt. All of those are very good low GI options rather than high GI options such as rice bubbles, cornflakes, Nutri-Grain, Fruit Loops, those more processed sugary options. So let's try to go for the the low GI options where possible, just so that our children are feeling fuller for longer. They're not wanting food and snacks every 10 minutes. And their concentration is better, which is really important too if you're trying to homeschool. So number 2 was structure. So try to keep structure wherever possible because children thrive on routines and structure. So if we can stick to the times that they were eating as close to what is normal for them, so whatever breakfast was, whatever crunch and sip or brain food, the break where they eat their fresh fruit or vegetable was, then they've got recess and then lunch, or some schools have lunch and then afternoon tea, whatever it is for you, call it that, and try to stick to as similar times as possible as what they were doing at school, because again, they respond to this routine and structure and it's going to make life easier for you. You say, no, it's not time to eat, wait till such and such time, which is when their bell would normally go for that particular break. So structure is number 2. And if you need to use the same containers, the other day I pulled out our crunch and sip fruit container just because I thought that's familiar, that's what they're used to eating, let's just do that, eat that, and then move on to the next part of the day. But if you're needing to do that for that familiarity and that consistency, then certainly do that as well. Number 3 is try to be organized with the lunchbox and make lunch either the night before or the morning of. Probably you can do now if you're going to be at home, but perhaps make the lunchbox up for the day if that's going to be easier for you, so that it's done, tick, and you don't have to worry about doing that later on and interrupting the day with yet another food snack, or food meal preparation. So do what works for you, but that's just a suggestion. I haven't done it yet, but it's certainly something that my husband and I have talked about, because I think it would make my day easier if I did make up the lunchbox in the morning and then it was done. So whether hubby was doing that, part of the day with homeschooling, or whether I was, it was done. We didn't have to worry about then preparing lunch. So that could be something that you consider doing as well. Number 4 is actually talk to the kids about the importance of the set time. So make it clear to them, tell them that we are now going to have set times and we're not going to eat in between those, because then it gives them an understanding as to why you're doing that. And also then there's less arguments and less protest when you say no, wait till the next snack time, because you've explained to them, you've given a bit of background as to why this is happening. Number 5 is allow treats. So certainly I'm of the opinion that we need to allow our children to have treats, treat foods. Call them sometimes foods. They're not every single day foods, but certainly at the moment we're going to have lots of Easter eggs around, and yeah, they're allowed to have them. And look, maybe they do have an egg a day, but just make sure it's not a treat food at every single snack. And look, we're all trying to do our best, and certainly my children have had more sugary snacks lately. So I just want you to know that I'm a paediatric dietitian, and my children have been having more of those snack treaty type foods, but that's life and we're not judging. Just try to be consistent with offering the healthy stuff as well, but do allow them some treat foods. Just try to keep that balance as much as possible. And number 6, my final tip is stay positive, because we are all in the same boat. No one is judging, or no one should be judging, because we're all in it together. So the most important thing is that you repeatedly put healthy food on the table. So by this I mean include plant foods, whether it's fruit or vegetables, at every main meal and every snack. So repeated exposure is king. Even if they're not going to eat it, just put a little bit of strawberry, a little bit of blueberry at their breakfast, on their breakfast plate, or in their lunch when they're having their sandwich or their toastie. Always include some plant food, some colour there, whether it's a bit of chopped up cucumber or capsicum. And at dinner as well, afternoon tea, all of those meal and snack times, try to include plant foods. So repeated exposure is key, and they will eventually learn to expect some colour on their plate at every meal and snack time, and then eventually they might like to eat it, which is also great too, huh? Because they're not always going to eat it, but if we can constantly put it on their plate, not huge amounts, just a little bit, then eventually they will start to eat it. And when they do eat it, then you can increase the amount, and hopefully it's not too long before your little one or your child is having a number of coloured vegetables on his or her lunch plate and dinner plate, because that's what we all ultimately want to see, right? We want to see our kids having more veggies and more nutrition in general. So at this tricky time, enjoy the family time together, between the arguments and everything else that's going on, but enjoy this time together. Use it as an opportunity to eat more meals together, cook together, and I wish you all a very safe and healthy COVID-19 period until we can all get through to and get out the other end. Take care. See you.